So basically, like, as I'm doing this, and I'm shooting my street fashion, and I'm shooting street fashion for the Post, and I'm doing now, I'm street fashion for Vogue, I'm street fashion for Time Out. I'm like, this street fashion lady, at some point, Interview Magazine's like, you should do our party photography. And I thought, oh, whoa. I want to, like, I don't want to do this forever. Like, this is just one way. This is how I'm making, this is how I'm not having a day job anymore, but this is not all that I'm willing to do. I'm prepared to do what I want to do. So I started taking these pictures, and I started shooting for, like, the, you know, the local magazines, the Nylons, the, you know, the sort of stuff that is sort of cool and gives beginning photographers opportunity at, you know, at the time. And I was shooting, again, people on the street and all this stuff, and Nylon let me, they asked me to do something for their beauty section on people that worked in fast food. I went, and between LA and New York, I photographed 4 women that worked in fast food. But I stood online, I brought my portfolio, and I got up to the line, I showed my portfolio and asked these random people that were there on their, like, lunch if I could take their picture. I literally was like, here is my portfolio, you know, can I come to your house and take your picture? And these photographs really were the beginning of me shooting editorially, commercially. I was fortunate. People gave me an opportunity. I was able to take that, and I, you know, perseverance, the whole thing. I pushed. You know, I created these environments. I lit them very hard because I didn't know anything about lighting. I knew that I wanted it to look bright. But I worked with assistants that, of course, had been working with other people. And I would learn from them. I mean, they would present something to me, and I would understand what the presentation was, and I would take as I needed or as made sense to me. And, you know, it sort of grew, but as I was learning about photography and learning about sort of what was important about it, I started to move a little past the work that was sort of, you know, founded in this disconnect. Like that it was no longer enough to create just an image that was cool looking. I actually wanted to create an image that worked with them, with the subject, and had them maybe more participatory. So, you know, everything was going on at the same time. Like, I am doing one thing here, I'm doing one thing here, I'm doing one thing here. All I want to do is be a photographer. So I just did everything that sort of, anything that struck my fancy, I tried. I thought was interesting. I met these artists, Andrew, and we started like a sort of year-long collaboration where I would document them for no purpose, but because their inherent style and their sort of connection at the time was so fascinating to me. And we would meet, we would take pictures, always similar to the same thing, Andrew on one side, Andrew on the other, constantly. And I was at the same time trying to push further. I had sort of forgoed like the whole traditional fashion sense. It was not something that came quite as naturally in a traditional sense. But the work of the people that I'm picking off the street is connecting so much greater to everyone I meet. It's still to this, like everything I present then gets an immediate reaction. It was far more fascinating. Maybe my aesthetic, maybe the people that I find interesting was something that, you know, people hadn't met.